Hi! Today we will be making homemade corn tortillas. For our ingredients, we will use all-purpose flour, corn tortilla mix, and water, preferably warm water. We're going to place 2 cups of corn tortilla mix in a bowl and add 1 cup of all-purpose flour to that. Next, we're going to add 12 ounces of warm water. Next, we are going to start mixing our ingredients together with our hands to start forming our dough. You want to do it carefully, making sure that you get a good consistency for your dough. As our dough starts to take form, we're going to go ahead and add 4 more ounces of warm water so that we can continue to mix. We will continue working our dough, ensuring that there is no dry mix left on the bottom of our bowl. And we want to get that dough really worked, so give it some muscle in there. Don't be shy. And as you can see, our dough is pretty much ready to go. It's not sticking to my hand and it's not sticking to the bowl, and we have a good texture. We have prepared our comal and have it on the stove, and while the comal heats up, we're gonna go ahead and start making our dough balls. And we are in production, guys. Look at these little balls. Keep them going, because once you start making tortillas, we have to keep that comal filled. Just kidding. We may not be able to, but anyway, any prep work you can do ahead is wonderful. I do want to say that I learned how to make tortillas from my mom. And I really hesitated making them at first because I was afraid I would get burned and they would always stick to my hands. But guys, it's a skill. Practice makes us better, and let me tell you, it does. Here we have our little tascal, and that's what you call your little container where you're gonna place your tortillas to keep them warm. I got this from Mexico, right at the border. It's a beautiful little thing. I love it. Now you may want to use a cloth napkin to place inside your tascal so that your tortillas can stay extra warm. So this is our lienzo, and it's basically a little piece of plastic that fits your press. What I did was take a Kroger bag and just cut it to the size of my press. So basically, we start out by taking a small dough ball, placing it on our lienzo, and closing the press, applying some pressure on it, and gently taking our tortilla on the edge of our palm and laying it over our heated comal. We will repeat the process until we have our comal filled up with tortillas, and we want to keep an eye in our comal to make sure that we flip the tortillas over at the right time. This is critical if you want to ensure that your tortillas puff up, and that is what you want. As you can see in here, our tortilla has puffed up, and this is what you want. This is what you're looking for in terms of a fully cooked tortilla. In determining when it is time to flip the tortilla over, you want to keep an eye on the texture. It's more about the texture than actual timing, because that is really dependent on how high your stove is and what kind of skillet or comal you are using. So when the tortilla starts to look yellowish and white little sections start to form as part of the texture, that is letting you know it's ready to be flipped over the first time. Guys, it's really not going to take very long for the first flip, but for the second flip, you definitely want to make sure that you have brownish color around your tortilla especially. And as far as texture, you're gonna feel some little bumps where that brownish area is, where it's cooked a little further. When you have that, you are ready to flip it over for the second time. Once you do that, there will be no more flipping. Your tortilla should be blooming up really nicely, and once it's puffed up, then you got it. Guys, thank you for joining me while we make some homemade tortillas. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course share.